Hello guys, my name is Dariana Flores and my presentation is on the end of Cold War. In this presentation I will be telling you guys that the Soviet Union had a rough time at night and around the frame of 1991 because they had a big fight with Afghanistan, and they were suffering a lot at that moment. They were fighting for political and economics and a lot of more things, which all those things, fast forward, we're going to be forcing a World War II. Um, because of that reason that they wanted to fight, they did a wall called the Brit Lane Wall in 1989, and it was taken down because people were jumping over and making holes in between or going under, and so it was breaking down and was open to everybody. Everybody could have went to the other side of the East German and the East German. It was, you know, broken, so they were able to pass through. Fast forward, they had a lot of acts that attempted to be about getting a new president and talking about different types of solutions that they could have had, like having a security or a operation, but all of those things were not processed after 2 years. Um, some of the main things of Herenic agreements were having to do with 35 countries that were going to be marked, and those people were going to be removed from having human rights and being covered by a lot of issues and all that. So they were saying that they were going to be pressuring 35 countries with a lot of different types of law activities or issues. The Western leader decided that between 1730 and 1750 that they were going to move down to Pennsylvania and hide there in some mountains to be able to have a war with the Indians. And this was going to be with the French and Indians, so they hid in a mountain to attack that war in between the Cold War. Um, After that happened, the Russians had a big fear because of everything that was going on. They thought that they were going to be the next people that were going to have a war and be mistreated and pushed around. Uh, Afterwards, in 1960 and 1970, they had a freedom rate of 23 amendment, which was um, that that gives District of Columbians the right to vote for President um, Brentland and have a little bit more freedom because of the fact that they had limits and all that. So at that moment, um, they had a little bit of freedom to vote and have, a little bit of help. Same thing with the Cubans, and this all happened in Massachusetts. The freedom of speech was important because of the fact that they had a lot of bigger idea and positive ideas. So they decided to have that amendment for people to have the right to say something when they're being stopped or being harmed or being attacked by the government. And between that time, they did some great weapons. Um, they did about 6,257 nuclear weapons, and this was for both countries, which was the Russians and the United States. So they divided their weapons between them two before they did the war. Um, the relationship between the Russians and the West was not so good. Um, the Russians didn't feel that safe around the West because the fact that they were real tough on the Russians, and it came to a point that they saw all their energy sources and they were real scared, and a lot of Russians were killed because of lying. So it was about like 13 million people that were displayed too because of lying as well. Um, the craziest thing about all this is that after the Cold War ended, they acted like nothing happened. They had the Russians calm down and feel a little bit more safe and all that. But all of this that happened, the wall, the fact that the Russians were fighting with the West, and the Indians hiding and all that caused a lead to World War II. And so they thought that they didn't cause a big scene, but they actually did. And it caused a lead to World War II, which that's a different story. But yeah, they acted like nothing happened and they still had their new amendments. They had everything new, but the fight never happened. So yeah, that is my story on the World War, on the World War, on the Cold War. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it and have a good night.